Alright guys, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. We have the Fox in the garage. I get asked a lot what's going on with the Fox, you know, and I just really haven't had the time or the money to really deal with it because we've been doing so much with FD. Not to mention that the motor in the FD car is actually the motor out of the Fox that I built a couple years ago. So, you know, it just didn't work out. I didn't have the funds to do the motor or anything, and, you know, we can go into that later, but we're working on it. And I have another cool thing to tell you guys, is we got a new puppy. So Biscuit's a 3-month-old lab pit mix, and he's running away. But he's been pretty good, had him about a week, and really excited to have another shop dog. And, you know, poor Grace, she passed away, but, you know, move on. So what we have going on is we have a nice motor here that my dad actually did for me. So I've been tinkering with it a little bit. I put the oil pan on it and the valve covers and stuff. It is a built bottom end, Carrillo rods, Manley piston, stock crank. It's got big comp cams, MMR timing assembly and everything. I ordered a head cooling mod that's going to be in a couple days, and just all the trick little things. See, we got the MMR cover over here. A lot of trick little things with this motor. The ports are huge. It's got Ferrara valves and everything. Just super badass motor that he did for me, so I appreciate that from him. So this motor could do a ton, and we probably don't have the fuel system in the car, and we don't have the axles in the car to do a ton, but we'll get the car going and running. One of the other cool things is we're actually working with Whipple to get a brand new Gen 5 for the race car. So that means I'm going to take the Cobra Jet Whipple off of this guy and put it on here. So let's get into it. Also, if you guys didn't see yet, selling shirts. We have the Chris Leonard shirts. I'll probably do some with the Give Her the Beans on the back and without it, just in case you don't want that. And you can check it out on our link tree. We don't have a website set up yet, but you can go on over there, get yourself a shirt. We got koozies and stuff too. Check it out. Alright, so you can tell by how dusty this is, how long this has been sitting on the shelf. But we got a nice pair of American Racing headers for this guy. Pull these out. I haven't looked at these in probably 2 years. But you got huge 2-inch primary headers for it, for the Maximum Motorsport K member, so should fit perfect. These are gonna look mint. Hey, stop. So let's get these on. So I've been doing work to the engine. We got some nice VCT caps on it. We got our UPR breather mounts there. Got our alternator and all our Whipple pulleys on for that setup because we are actually going to run the 10-rib alternator unlike we do on the race car because this won't get beat as bad. So I did realize that I put a 3-bolt water pump on this. This is a 4-bolt water pump for the pulley. so I gotta pull the whole water pump off and everything. So gotta start getting to work on the race car to pull all the fancy stuff off of that, and we'll get this thing ready to get put in the car. It's really nice when you can just step in the engine bay though. Oh, I forgot to do the... That's good, I just poured fuel in the intake. I forgot to do my injector plugs. I thought about it 6 times, I just never did it. The ethanol in my cuts in my hand feels really good.
I bet.
That's great. The best. Actually. Alright.
Great success.
Supercharger. It's like 100 pounds. Hold out. Now I gotta go full race on this, and I forgot to take the tape off it. I'm too excited. Trying not to spill everything everywhere. It's heavy as shit. Woo! There it is, supercharged. Sick. Okay, so the engine's pretty much ready to go. I actually found a belt in one of my totes that fits. So I'm going to order a couple of these and probably one that's a little bit smaller because I'd like to get this tensioner tension more. But I got everything to fit. I had to do some machine work and everything to get all the fitting or the pulleys to fit because everything is double roller bearing now. Hopefully we can run the alternator and not lose the belt all the time. So super excited about the motor. The motor looks great and it's going to perform even better. So now we're going to get the wheels and the front suspension and everything off the car. We're going to put the K-member on the engine so we can put it right in place. We got to put the transmission and everything on the engine, and we're going to line that all up. So I got the motor sitting in the car and I'm really excited about it. The hood pretty much shuts. It looks like it is slightly hitting back here, which I'll have to address. It's very, very tight at the cowl and the supercharger, but it fits and it looks mint. Throttle body and everything clears. It goes over the top of the master, so I should be able to get a nice intake on there. The hood's pretty big, so I think that's going to give me the room for the cold air intake. And yeah, it looks really great in there, and we're gonna keep putting it in. Everything isn't settled, it's kind of loose in there, so we're gonna lift it up, make sure everything's squared, and get it fully installed. Alright, so I've been chugging away at this thing. It took me like 3 days to get the starter in. I had to do a bunch of cutting. I'll show you this here. And I also had to do the bell housing a little bit. It was a pain to fit through those American Racing headers, but now I know what I gotta do if I gotta change the starter. So that's done. I got the steering rack sitting in place. I got the steering shaft in. It clears by a mile. So I'm gonna just keep plugging away, putting some things on, and hopefully we don't have any more issues, knock on wood, because the engine is pretty much in. Hell yeah. Alright, now I got all the suspension in the car. I figured out that the cold air intake fits. That's super cool. And the engine actually clears the hood. So, I need to order a bunch of fittings. And so the biggest thing is getting the supercharger in with the intercooler and everything. I went through a big debacle with somebody. I bought a Gen 4 for this thing, and I ended up missing a bunch of parts. So he said UPS lost it, whatever, big debacle. So I put the Gen 1 back on here. Whipple hooked me up. They're giving me a Gen 5 for this, which is sick. Not giving it to me, but they're hooking me up on a really good deal for it. I couldn't say no. So I've got a bunch of intercooler goodies that I can use for the Fox. We got a big box of parts. So I've got a bunch of hose here. Some of it's kind of janky. Hopefully, I got told this was in a New Edge first, and I got put in an S550, so hopefully the janky extensions I don't have to use. But tons and tons of hose. Really, really nice EMP water pump. The brackets are horrible, but we're going to put nice brackets on it. Super nice EMP water pump. We got big ID injectors that I bought, or sorry, FIC injectors. I think they're 2200s. Those are going to go on the race car because I keep hitting... Oh, no! That's probably good for them. I keep hitting injector limits on this. And this, if it makes 820, it will make 820. And I'll be happy. Spare damper, just in case I ever lose a crank. Some blower pulleys. Just like a bunch of junk, you know. But we got fittings for days, and hopefully we can make all this stuff work. We'll get this thing going. Wow, he what's that? Channel lock marks? Ew. If I had a ton of money, I wouldn't use any of it, and I would just sell it. But this is how we're getting stuff together and making it fast. Hell yeah.
Do you want to tell the public what you're doing?
No. Building a bracket.
Nice.
We're welding and things. So, we're putting in a Volvo power steering pump because of the 10-rib kit doesn't allow us to run the power steering pump, and I don't really want to spend all the money to run a factory one. So I've had this thing for like 3 years for this specific reason. I'm just making a little bracket here so we can bolt this up into the car and it'll just be electric instead of driven off the belt. And then hopefully we'll have less belt issues because of that. Alright, I hope you guys liked the video. We're going to end it here. Hopefully next week we'll have the next video up. We're going to keep working on the Foxbody, and then we're going to get some work done on the S550. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little bell thing to get notified when I make new videos, and we'll see you later.